Hi, I'm Daniel. This channel features historical photos, carefully chosen and edited to tell untold stories. Stay till the end. One of the last images is rare and almost never seen. Actress Claudia Cardinali. Los Angeles Times Magazine named her among the 50 most beautiful women in film history. See 1957. Arnold Schwarzenegger at night school in California, 1973. Hergé standing in front of a Tintin and Snowy statue in Brussels on May 13, 1982. Dolores Del Rio, pioneering Mexican actress of the 1920s, often called the female Rudolph Valentino. (1909) portrait of Juanita Rage Parker, daughter of Comanche chief Quanah Parker. Florence Griffith Joyner at the Jamsil Olympic Stadium in Seoul, South Korea, September 24, 1988. The inventor of the helicopter, Igor Sikorsky, in the Sikorsky H-5 helicopter, 1945. A new television set, 1949. Sculptor Felix de Weldon, working on the plaster model of the U.S. Marine Corps War Memorial, circa 1954. Jane Fonda, NYC, 1963. Ava Gardner in court during her divorce of Mickey Rooney, 1943. With her husband at war, Mom works on her car, Cannes, 1944. Taxi driver and his cab, Norway, 1917. American actress Eva Marie Saint, early 1950s. American Airlines flight attendants from a 1967 ad campaign. A farmer and his sons, Ryazan Province, Kasimovsky County, village of Grand Pexely, Russian Empire, 1910. Young Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's, with his mentor, Colonel Harlan Sanders, 1964. Jenny Garth, 1993. Jamie Lee Curtis, The Love Boat, 1978. A woman from 1903 getting photographed for the first time. Maori woman and her son from Hawke's Bay, New Zealand, ca. 1890s. Girls on the Streets of London, 1947. Photo by Walter Sanders. Rachel Weisz at the Cannes Film Festival, 1997. Danny Trejo, 1980. Deborah Paget, Princess of the Nile, 1954, by Harmon Jones. Disneyland Workers in a Cafeteria, 1961. A couple riding together on an autoped. The autoped was an early motorized scooter invented in 1915. New York City, USA, Cara 1923. Crimean Greek woman in folk costume, Taurida Province, Crimea, early 1900s. Diana Rigg and Anthony Hopkins, photographed by Ron Burton, September 19, 1972. Jennifer Love Hewitt and Melissa Joan Hart, 1990s. Dana Ashbrook and Majin Amick, 1990. Elizabeth Taylor, 1954. A Woman in Berdyansk, Ukraine, 1991. Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli's hug during a photo shoot in London, 1964. Woman pointing a gun at a computer for some reason, 1998. A man photographed in the 1980s. Peter Tosh, Mick Jagger, and Bob Marley, smiling for the camera, 1978. Phoebe Cates at an evening event in Paris, France, November 27, 1984. Brigitte Bardot having her portrait painted by Kees van Dongen, 1959. Vincent Schiavelli in Ghost, 1990. Angela Lansbury, 1943. The contestants of Miss World, 1972. Christian Bale's iconic look at the premiere of Velvet Goldmine, 1998. David Bowie and Iman at their wedding, June 6, 1992, Florence, Italy. Playmate of the Year, Donna Michelle, and her 1964 Ford Mustang. A suave gentleman ice skating in a suit, 1937. Alyssa Milano during a fitness photo shoot, 1989. Corvette Mako Shark II, 1965. Burt Lancaster and Ava Gardner in a publicity shot for The Killers, 1946. Nicolae Ceausescu with Pol Pot, 1978. Bobby Soxers, 1940s. A Woman with a Groovy Psychedelic Pram, London, June, 1967. Woodstock Fashion, 1969. Sean Connery and Ursula Andress having some fun at the river during the filming of Dr. No, Jamaica, 1962. Two men in a pillory and one on a whipping post in prison, Delaware, 1907. A woman wearing a crinoline being dressed with the aid of long poles to lift her dress over the hoops, circa 1860. Officers of the Civil Guard, Spanish paramilitary gendarmerie force in Cuba, circa 1892. Making the Titanic's anchor chain at Hingley & Sons, 1909. Women smile for a photo on Atlantic City Beach, a segregated place in New Jersey around the 1950s. The 8 Nazi saboteurs of Operation Pastorius caught on American soil during World War II, Washington, D.C., 1942. Inauguration of Jefferson Davis as President of the Confederate States of America at Montgomery, Alabama, February 18, 1861. Guardian of the Pole is a snowman made of ice by polar explorers, 1973. Former German Army Colonel Erich Hamann photographed an hour before his execution for murdering a Russian laborer, May 30, 1945. Texas Cowboy, 1907. Gamera vs. Gaius, 1967. Mikhail Gorbachev gives Polish President Jaruzelski files admitting Soviet responsibility for the Katyn massacre, April 13, 1990. One of the first SNCF Class 141R locomotives delivered from the U.S. is unloaded from the Liberty ship Harold O. Wilson, Marseille, France, November 3, 1945. A child's car seat, 1950s. A man in the 1950s. Linda Carter, 1980s. Mountain guides carry a wealthy lady who wanted to climb Mount Vesuvius, Kingdom of Italy, 1910. Navvies posing in front of timbering, shoring up the north end of the Gills Corner Railway Tunnel during its reconstruction, 1892. A camouflaged road in Finland during WW2. The trees were hung up with cables so the enemy couldn't see the road, 1941. The fender of the lunar roving vehicle, repaired by using 4 maps and a clamp during the Apollo 17 mission, December 12, 1972. Plowing Lands, Jerusalem, 1920s. The old Stockholm telephone tower connecting approximately 5,500 telephone lines, Sweden, 1890. The sample case of Christmas lights traveling salesman, early 1960s. A still from the film A Deadly Trip to Osaka, 1983. A street in the old town, Biskra, Algeria, 1899. $3,459 for a 10 megabyte hard drive, 1980s. That's $9,500 in today's money. Wash day in a New York City tenement, 1920s. Drinking in the parking lot, 1990s, because we still could. Auto wash bowl, 1921, invented by C.P. Boland in St. Paul, Minnesota, to clean mud from cars. Cost, 25 cents per wash. The Laser Tour by Perceptronics, 1982. One of the first photos taken of Tutankhamun's tomb when it was opened after more than 3,000 years, 1922. President Lyndon B. Johnson drives his car through the lake on his Texas ranch, April 10, 1965. The Chicago Federal Building, Chicago, built in 1905, demolished in 1965 to make room for a generic skyscraper. Life in the late 1970s and early 1980s, a friend rolling a joint. A man in 1944. Golden Gate Bridge Chief Engineer Joseph Strauss ordered safety nets under the bridge, saving 19 workers during the construction, a revolutionary idea at the time. A woman in the 1940s. A Japanese man holding his newly acquired PS2 on the launch day in Japan, March 4, 2000. A kitchen from the 1970s. A firefighter, leftmost, in 1990. David Bowie, Singapore, 1983. Servicemen at a bar in Berlin, circa 1949. USAAF B-17G Blue Streak hit by flak over Merseburg, Germany, while bombing an oil plant, November 2, 1944. Certificate of Albert Einstein, Switzerland, 1896. A score of 5 is excellent.